Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your old pal J-Gun coming to you tonight with a look at the Argo Moth, a new salvage ship made by Argo. A lot of us had been wanting something larger than the Vulture that could be soloable, and the release of this ship is a clear indication that SIG was not listening to us at all. They are classifying this as medium salvage, yet to get the most out of it, you need at least 3 people. So I'm not quite sure what kind of medium profession ship requires 3 people, but you know what? If you got that many people, I'm just going to say it, you might as well hop on a reclaimer. But let's take a look at this ship, which I am not qualified at all to review, and at least go over the aesthetics. I don't really do salvage very much, so if you're a full-time salvager wondering if this ship is for you, then I apologize. This first look is not going to be very useful for you, and since my feed is monetized, you're unfortunately going to be forced to watch a video. So this might be a good time for you to close this tab and look for more useful videos. So this is not a very useful video. I apologize. It's cool looking. Is it worth $290 if you have a Vulture? Probably not. But you can hold your breath if you want and wait for them to fill that gap. That gap we needed filled so badly. We just were so yearning for that gap to be filled, and SIG is just unwilling to fill it. We got the little tiny, tier 0 salvage ship at the end of the year, the RSI Salvation, which only salvages like 6 SCU. And we got the Misfortune, aptly named, because nobody would ever use that ship. And then we get this thing, which is basically just kind of a mole. It looks like the mole chassis. The arms even deploy on the sides in a very similar manner. Yet, like I said, I don't know if it makes sense for a solo person to buy this ship or not. It is cool looking, and the salvage arms look really cool. So let's go over the stats here. As far as guns, there's 2 size 2 guns that the pilot controls. There's 16 size 2 missiles from that top missile turret. That's actually pretty cool. Might be fun just to go out with this thing and missile about with it. So that's kind of cool, right? And definitely the missiles look pretty. And it might have a lamp, if that's a selling feature. I don't know. These arms, these salvage arms are pretty awesome. The pilot controls the 2 salvage arms. And then there's 3 turrets. We can see one of them there. And then, of course, the 2 that deploy from the sides with these side pods. So enough of the look from this perspective. Let's go ahead and get in. Like I said, I don't really salvage much, and the salvage gameplay, it changes from patch to patch so much that I have not bothered learning it too much. I've recently actually been getting more into mining, because that's just amazing with VR. So what this thing does have going for it is it can carry a lot of boxes. It's 224 SCU total. We got 192 on the outsides, and you can fit 32 in the rear elevator. I imagine, however, though, you're limited to 16 SCU boxes. So unlike a raft, which can store much larger boxes, if you're going to put anything in here, the biggest denomination you're going to be able to fit is 16. But still very cool. I like that they've, in the mole, this back area isn't quite as big, because like where I'm standing right now is components. The components kind of stick out further. There's a little area to exist here, but I'm glad they opened this up and made it much bigger. So you can bring an ATLS with you, which will be really cool. So, if you have a Vulture and you have a reclaimer, I'm just going to say, and you have a raft, I'm going to say don't buy. But if you have neither a Vulture, neither a raft, and neither a reclaimer, then this might be a buy, because it's kind of got everything. It's got a lot of storage. Heck, you could use this thing just for hauling if you wanted to. So there are some pros to to be recognized in here. You know, it's not all bad. It's just, like I said, it doesn't quite fill that gap that we really wanted. I think people that spend a lot of time in their vultures but are bummed out with the vultures' limited capacity had always kind of hoped, you know, like, hey, Sig, just make something that's, you know, I can still solo, but I can stay deployed longer. Something that'll give me time out in the field longer, you know, store, you know, maybe even just 8 to 16 more SU. So I think with the Moth, Sig is addressing a need that didn't really exist. But you know what? I think we'll come to learn to love the Moth, maybe. So this is all the same as the Mole. This looks the same. And again, that's access to the center turret. Let's go ahead and go to the bridge. Still don't really understand buttons because the doors open automatically without having to click the buttons. So, but there are buttons in case you want to click the buttons. Looks like we have an engineering terminal here. Engineering gameplay really hasn't, and now it does want me to click the button. Engineering gameplay really hasn't quite come into its own yet. We've got it. It's something we can do if we want to, but it very much feels optional at this point. You know, engineering is something you can do if you want to maybe extend the life of your ship a little bit. Lamp on by default. I can probably change that in the settings, but let's power her up.
Systems activating. Systems on.
Attention, pilot, you are cleared for takeoff.
We are cleared for takeoff. So let's go.
Launch complete.
Let's take a look at those gear. That's kind of cute. The Mole might be exactly the same animation, I'm not sure. It's daytime here at Lorville. That's good, so we'll get to see the ship a little bit. So, like I said, it's $290 for this thing. You can get it.
Please visit us again.
There's an
Remember,
option.
If you're contemplating a career change, you should contact one of Hurston's resource managers for information about exciting
Thank
career
you,
opportunities.
ATC. I love that ATC now wants to talk to me for an extra long time. It comes with a juniper paint. I think the edition I got also comes with this paint called Dolomite. So, is it cool looking? Yes, it is. But I think in the coming days, we're really going to find out how soloable it is. You know, again, Cloud Imperium is saying it's medium salvage, but it doesn't look like medium salvage to me. This looks like large salvage, with the Mole kind of, or with the Reclaimer being like extra large.
Shields off.
But let's get her out of SCM and get some altitude. Okay, we're past 10. Let's see if we can get to Everest. My dog says hi. This won't be an edited video, by the way. I thought about that. I'm like, should I do a full in-depth review? And I said, no. You know what? Because I'm not really into salvage. And I think trying to solo this thing is not possible. So, typically, if a ship requires crew, my review is going to consist of me just farting around solo in it.
Quantum travel engaged. Quantum travel complete.
Okay. So let's press M, I assume. And those are the arms. And that's kind of cool, right? You see kind of the blurry ripple effect. You know, in the old days, we all had hoped these arms would be mechanical and smash things and shoot things, but we ended up with lasers and wave effects, and I think that's okay. So, yeah. So I, as the pilot, can control these things. So, basically, if I just want to munch, the pilot can munch all on his own. And maybe that's profitable to just do munch and then come home and sell the munch. I'm not sure how it loads. I would hope that like the small salvage vehicles, because like with the Reclaimer, with the Vulture, once the conveyor belt is full, the queue stops. You know, you have to have somebody clear that conveyor belt and get it off. But with the, I believe with the Misk Fortune, they now have a new system where the crates automatically appear on the sides. And I can only kind of hope that's what we get with this. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, I would go salvage something, but I just don't. I don't have time. Do I have time? I don't have time. But let's pretend that's how it works. So as you salvage, the crates automatically appear here. And like I said, you get 192 total externally. So whatever that is divided by 2, that's how much you get on each side. So that's kind of cool, right? And I'm sure they automatically poop out and attach there. But again, I don't know a lot about salvage, but there's 2 types, right? There's like the munching salvage, and then there's the scraping salvage. I can't do any scraping as the pilot. So if I want to do any scraping, I have to get into one of the scraper turrets. And there's 3 of them, and I have no reason to believe they're different, but I'm sure you can customize the heads on them all you want. The game offers a wide variety of different heads you can put on these things. So let's go ahead and get in the center at least. Oh, so intuitive.
Systems activating. Systems on.
Looks like I have a cinch and an abrade. There you go. So you click your mouse and that thing goes like that. And you can switch with right click. Great. Filler station ready. So what does the filler station look like? Because not only does it suck that you have to have 3 people, or I guess 4. I mean, there's 3. Yeah, there's 3 salvage turrets plus the main scraper arms that the pilot controls. So 4 people? How the hell is minimum 4 crew? How the heck is that medium? That feels like large or extra large to me. What are these? Let's look out here. Oh, that's a component. And it probably said that somewhere, right? There's probably badging somewhere here that tells me that that's what that was. I don't know. I don't know what anything is anymore. Is this? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay. So this is one of the, you know, this is the, like in the Reclaimer, this is the thing you interact with to poop out the crates. But let's enable auto eject. Is that enabled or is that enabled? And is there, why is there not one on each side? There is one on each side. Perfect. So these will poop out on the side. This is probably just a component, but I'm going to open it just in case. Yeah, just more components. Let's go ahead and EVA outside and see if there's more to love about this ship. One thing I really like about the raft is that collar you have to quickly get out. I don't see how to get out of this thing quickly without this elevator. And you know, maybe if I figure out how to solo this thing efficiently, I'll come back and do a proper review, you know, actually showing you salvage. Okay, so I imagine, and there's probably some cool animation, and again, like, go on, there are going to be 1,000 videos of this ship that are more informative than mine. Like, and honestly, if you're still watching this video, it's just because you're a fan of me personally, because the content is super low quality. But I'm assuming this arm, you know, grabs the boxes as they come out and pushes them to the end and the bottom, and then it can do 2 layers of that. So we've got these arms filling up these external cargo grids. Oh, and they probably come out of these doors. Yeah, so that's probably what's going to happen, is these doors will open up, the crate will come down, and the arm will push it into position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by maybe 2 or 3 rows deep. Although actually maybe these are pretty big squares. These could be like I think I'm looking at probably an 8SU box right there. Yeah. Okay. Cool. This might be cool to see in action. So if I do get some time to do some salvage, maybe I'll make an amendment video. But my gut feeling, folks, is that if you own a reclaimer or a vulture and maybe a raft, this just isn't worth it for $290. And that's war bond. I only buy war bond. I don't know what the credit prices are, but I assume it's even more, as credit prices typically are. And to get all 3 of these scraper arms going, that's 3 people. Now, technically, the pilot, if the pilot is nimble enough, they could do the braking from the captain's chair, from the pilot chair. They could do the braking, and then they could turn around, drop down the ladder, get into the center turret, and do scraping from the center turret. So, if scraping via center turret is enough, then maybe it is soloable. Maybe? You guys tell me in the comments, what do you think? And right now there's a bug actually where scraping isn't like, it's like going really, really slow. But if I can be here in this seat and go crunch, 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 and I break the ship in half, and you know, that makes us wonder, can this break a hammerhead in half? Like, what's the largest size of ship this can munch? But break, break, break. Okay, we've done the munching. Then run back here. Hop down here. Scrape, 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 scrape. Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I should test these things. You know what I should do? I should actually go do some salvage, come back with an actual proper test video, produce some quality content for y'all. Oh, looks like they've added a nozzle. I think the mole only has a 3-nozzle frozen yogurt dispenser, so that's good. There are some trays here. That's it, folks. It's a mole, but with salvage arms. And I think it was easy for them to make, so the cost made sense. The numbers made sense. They ran the numbers, and they're like, well, we can really fill that gap players want for like a better single-player salvager, or we can just do large salvage with a mole clone and call it medium salvage. Okay, I think I've beat that horse. It's definitely dead. Let's look at the weapons.
Shields on.
There it is. Those are the 2 size 2s. I presume they're Badgers. Yeah, they look like Badgers. And then missiles. Let's look at missiles. Let's go into missile mode. It's not letting me dumbfire, which is a bummer. I'm sure it's rad, though. I'm sure these missiles are really cool. I'm just sure of it. Oh. 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 Yeah, I can't fire the missiles. Am I an armistice? No, I'm not an armistice. Let's target somebody, see if we can fire the missiles. Maybe you have to have somebody targeted? There's somebody. Nope, can't get the missiles to fire. What other modes do we have here? Scan mode, of course. Guns, turret. What's turret mode? Oops, sorry. Sorry, dude. I don't know what turret mode is. SCM turret. Anyways, okay. This video's gone about 20 minutes over. But this is what the ship looks like. It's expensive. But maybe after using it, I'll suddenly fall in love with it. Basically, it comes down to, can I solo with it? Because, you know, I know this is kind of an MMO, but most of us play this game solo. So there you have it, the Argo Moth. This is the multi-operator targeted harvester. Designed for and dedicated to operators looking to take their small-time recovery work to the next level. Purpose-built to bridge the gap between light salvage and full industrial undertakings, the Moth has the tools to earn its keep. The storage for a long job, and the ambition to take your team to an elevated tier of performance. So ask yourself, people, do you have the ambition to take your team to an elevated tier of performance? If you do, this is the ship for you, the new Argo Moth. Feel free to like and subscribe if there's anybody still watching at this point. If there is, thank you. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you in the verse.